I was watching a TV show called Terra Nova on Netflix, and so far it's actually shaping up to be fairly stupid. But when we were watching it, they had a big circular compound, and it's in an environment where, although they have very nice houses, resources seem to be limited, or you would imagine they're limited. And I got to wondering, if you had limited fencing materials, would you make a round fence, or would you make a square fence in terms of having the most space inside it for the compound? So I thought, since I'm working with Excel, I'll have a go at that. So the first thing I did is I went over here and I put the numbers 1 to 20 down the side. Now I'll actually show you very quickly how I did that, because this is a good trick to know. You just fill in the first two that you want to complete, select them both, and then drag it down. So there you go, I've got 20 things. So that's going to be my radius to start with, and the radius is the space from the centre of a circle to the outside of a circle. So if I had a radius of 1, say 1 mile or 100 metres, I guess I'd like to know what my circumference is. Circumference. So I'm going to pop over to the interwebs, and I'm going to look at circumference of a circle is 2 times pi times r. So I'll go back to Excel. So it's going to equal 2 times pi. Now I just need to find pi, so I'll pop back to, there we go, there's pi. So I'll just look that up again on the internet. 2 times pi, so pi times r, which is that there, which I said was my radius. There we go. So if I have a radius of, say, 2 metres, then I'm going to need 12.5 metres of material to fence that in. So it seems like a lot. 2 pi r. Presume it's right. Okay. So what I then want to know is, for that 6 metres of fencing, or that 12 metres of fencing, how much am I going to have inside? How much area am I going to have? So I want to know the area of the circle. So I go round to, back to the internet. The area of a circle is pi r squared. So I'm going to put that in. So it's going to equal pi times r, because that's what squared means. It means times by itself twice. So there we go. So for this size fence, I get this. For this size fence, I get this much space inside. What I'm also going to do is I'm actually going to grab a whole bunch of these, and I'm going to format it such that I haven't got such long numbers. So format cells as number, and I'm going to go to 2 decimal places, which is just up here. In fact, I'm not going to go to any decimal places, come to think of it. So there you go. So for a 13 metre fence, I'm going to get 13 metres in square metres inside. For a 31 metre fence, I'm going to get 79 metres inside. Now the question is, if I was using that same material to build a square fence, how much area would I get inside? So each side of a square is 1/4, obviously, of my fencing. So I'm going to take this figure here. It equals, so each side equals this number divided by 4. So I'm going to drag that down. So let's say I pulled down my fence that was in a circle, and each side of my square fence would now be that length. So I know that the area of a square is the side by the side, so that's going to equal this times itself, and I'm going to drag that down. So I have 2 sets of figures. One is the area of a circle, and this is the area of a square that we made with the same amount of fence. Now as you can see, they're obviously different, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to build myself a graph such that I can actually see this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag, so there's the area of my circle, which is that. So I'm just basically making a duplicate of that so I can graph it. So that's the circle. And over here I'm going to make it equal to the square, which is here. and then I'm going to graph them. Now you can see just by looking at them, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph them. And there you go. You can see that the blue line, which is the circle, actually gives us slightly more area. So I'll just change my title. Is area of circle and squares with the same perimeter. So on this side, if I were to label it, which I probably should just to be diligent, so this is in fact square, it's unit squared, and this is fence length. So as you can see, in terms of getting more bang for my buck, in terms of area inside, I'm better off building a circle than I am building a square.